Hey, what's up everybody, hope you're doing fine. John here. Today's video is all about sharing tips, and in this tutorial I'll be sharing with you really cool Photoshop tips that will make you more productive in Photoshop. And without so much ado, let's jump to the video and let's do this, man. Alright, here we are in Photoshop, and in front of me is the image that I'll be using for the first tip. So the first tip is all about how you can be able to get rid of a subject in an image. And in this example, we'll be getting rid of this smartphone. And to get started, I will first of all need to duplicate this layer. So I'll go to layers, and then I'll come and press Ctrl J. That will create a duplicate of this layer. You can give it a reasonable name if you want, but for the case of this video, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Alright, having done that, the next thing that I want to do is to select the smartphone itself. So to do that, I will come and pick the object selection tool. You can press W on your keyboard to pick that tool. So click on that, and then you can come and select the image itself. So here you have to be patient with Photoshop as it selects the subject. Alright, so Photoshop has perfectly selected the subject, and if we go with things as they are now, the outcome will not be that good, because as you can see, my smartphone has some sort of a shadow, and if I remove the object, the shadow of the smartphone will be left. So what I can do is I can come and expand the selection so that I can also get rid of the shadow. So to do that, I can go to select and then modify, and then I say expand. Here the expand by number, or the number of pixels that you can put here, will depend on the object that you are removing. So you need to play around with it until you get that perfect number of pixels. In my case, I'll just try to play around with 100 pixels and see how that will turn out. If it doesn't, maybe I'll try a different number. So I'll just come and say okay. And as you can see now, the selection has been expanded, and the shadow now is within the selection. Now the next thing is now the magic part of it. So I'll want now to come and remove the subject of this smartphone here. So to do that, I'll head on to edit, and then I'll come and look for this option, a content aware fill. So just click on that. So a preview is loading on this pane here, so that if I need to fine-tune things a little bit, I can be able to fine-tune that as I see a preview. Depending on the speed of your machine, this may take a while. Alright, so I have the preview, and Photoshop is now trying to read the subject and get rid of it. And after a few seconds, I have the final product here. You can see I have been able to get rid of the smartphone that is on this other pane here. And you can see now, because I was able to expand the selection, it has also removed the drop shadow that we had beneath the smartphone. So if the image that you're using doesn't quite work well, there are some options on this pane here that you can be able to use to try to fine-tune things a little bit. Like you can go to the fill settings, and then you try to change the color adaptation to maybe high or very high. You see, you can be able to come and play around with these options here. But as things are in the image that I'm using, I'm happy with the outcome, and things are good. So the outcome, you can also come and have it on the current layer, or a new layer, or a duplicate layer. And because we had created a layer or a duplicate layer, we can just come and select the current layer. But if you had not duplicated your layer, you can maybe come and say new layer or duplicate layer. So after that, you can come and apply that, and then you come and say okay. Alright, my machine is a bit slow here, so I'm just giving it its time. So maybe I can speed this up a little bit so that things are fast here. So just come and click OK, and that will remove the preview. Then you're just going to have now the final product here. Alright, so we have the final product here, and now what I want to do is to remove this selection. So I can do that by going to select and then deselect. So I'm just going to have that. So now if I go to my layers, I'll be able to see the final product and the original product. As you can see, yeah, so that's cool, and that's the magic. So that's why I love Photoshop 2020. Alright, so this is tip 2 of 3, and in this tip I'll be showing you how you can be able to crop outward. So in most cases we usually use the crop tool to crop inwards, to just cut off some parts of an image. But do you know in Photoshop you can also be able to crop outwards? And when can you be able to like crop an image outwards? So for example, you are creating a Facebook banner or a YouTube thumbnail or anything that requires some specific dimensions, and the image that you want to fix there doesn't quite fit. Say it is very small. So you can be able to come in Photoshop and expand or enlarge the image so that it can fit in those dimensions. So it is very simple. All you need to do is to come and pick the crop tool, and then you come and expand outwards. So you need to know the size, like how much can you expand outwards, and also how much you can expand outwards depends on the image itself and the number of details that are in that image. So in this case you don't want to be that much hungry, so we're just going maybe to get it up to that point. Alright, so after that, the next thing that you want to do is to come on top here and check on the content aware again. So check on that, and then after that you just now want to come and click this tick here, and Photoshop will do its magic. So this is again another area that you need to be a bit patient, as Photoshop tries to make some pixels, make things up and fit them in that extra added space. And boom, as you can see, the image has been enlarged and everything looks so natural, so original, and you won't even notice that the image has been enlarged. And that's cool, isn't it? Alright, see you in the next tip. Alright, and finally tip 3 of 3, I'll be showing you how you can be able to remove the background of an image in Photoshop. And what we are currently looking at is the final product of an image that I have removed the background. And as you can see, Photoshop was able to do some very cool work. So let me just get into serious business and I show you how I was able to do this the easiest way. Alright, so to get started, I have the image already open here, and so this is the image that I was able to translate to this. Alright, so to get started, I'm now on the image, and the first thing that I need to do is to head on to the layers. So I want to go to the layers, and what I want to do here is to create a duplicate. So to do that, I'll just press Ctrl+J. That will create a duplicate there. Maybe I can double click it, and maybe I come and call it final product. Just call it final product. You can give it any name, and the reason as to why I've created a duplicate is because one, I want to have a backup of the image just in case something happens, and the other reason is that when I want to remove the background using the method that I'm about to use, I need to have at least the layer that I'm using being unlocked and not locked as we have in this case. Also, after having those two layers there, all I now need to do is to head on to the properties. And remember, if you can't see the properties here, you can head on to window, and then you come and look for properties. So in my case, I have it here. So when you just click on the properties should open. Maybe you can come and fix it there so that you'll always be seeing it like I'm having it here. So I can just come and fix it there, so I always have it there. So I can just come and click that, and what I'm currently seeing is the properties for this image or this document that I have here. And what I need to do is to scroll down here, and down here I'll see the quick actions, and as you can see, I'm seeing image, crop, trim, rotate, which are the options that I don't want right now. So to fix that, what I need to do is to head on to layers, and then I make sure that I select the very top layer, which is this one here, and then after that I now go to properties, and then when I scroll down now, I should see the remove background, which is what we are actually looking for. So what I just need to do is to just click on remove background, and Photoshop will be able to detect the subject and remove any other unwanted parts, which is the background. So just come and click remove background, and this is a process that may take a while depending on the speed of your machine, so just be patient. And finally, this is the cool work that Photoshop was able to do. As you can see, it was able to remove the background. Oh, wait a minute, I'm just kidding, we can still see the background. Alright, so what we need to do to fix this is to just come and turn off the background. So what we are currently seeing is this background layer. So we just need to come and remove this, or just hide it, so that we can be able to see the topmost layer. So just come and click on this, and you should be able to see the final product. Alright, so this is the final product, as you can see. So Photoshop was able to remove the background as much as it could, but as you can see, it was it removed some areas that we actually need. So it is very easy to fix this, but always remember that the final product will be determined by the type and the quality of the image that you are working with. Alright, so to be able to fix this, I can come and use the brush tool, so that I can be able to remove these excess parts, and also be able to retain some parts that were removed here. So to be able to do that, you need to just come and select this mockup, or this mask here, this mask here, and then you come and pick your brush. Just come and pick your brush, and on top here you can just come and try to increase the size, play around with the hardness. You can also be able to pick from these various brushes that we have here. So in my case, I need to increase the brush size to say allowed there, and also the hardness I'll put it to 100% for now. Maybe I'll be changing that later. Alright, so basically what I want to do is to first of all remove these parts. So if I just come and do it like that, as you're going to see, it is removing the background of these excess parts here. Why? Because when you come down here, the foreground color is set to black. So what this means is that if the foreground color is set to black, Photoshop will remove whatever parts that you are currently trying to brush out here. But if this is turned the other way around, so that the white color is now set as the foreground, and then you just come and try to brush out like that, you'll see Photoshop now trying to like retain those parts that were removed. So in this case, what we want to do is to remove these excess parts here, which is the background, and to be able to do that, we need to set the black color as the foreground. So you can just come and click on that, and when you see the foreground color being black, you can now come and pick your brush, and you can now be able to come and remove those areas. So let me just brush that out. I can also be able to come and zoom it in a little bit here. Yes, and then I can pick the brush, and I can just come and remove that. So just be careful so that you don't ruin everything. So I'll fast forward the video so that we can try to save time here. Alright, so I have managed to remove that. So what I want also to do is to also come and retain this part of my hand here. So I want to have the hair back. So what I will do is I'll just come and now make sure that the foreground color is white, and then now with my brush tool I can also come and increase the size a bit. I can also be able now to come and retain that part of the image. Let me also do that there so that I'm able to know the part there. Alright, so I'm just highlighting that area there so that I can be able to retain the part of the hair that was removed. Let me just have it like that for now. I'll be showing you another tip here that you can use to refine these complex edges. Let's first of all ensure that the whole image is looking fine. Alright, we also need to work out some few areas here. So I'll come and switch the background color to be white and the foreground to be black. I reduce the size of the brush a little bit, and I can also be able to come and remove this part of the shirt here. So I don't want to be so detailed. This is just for demo purposes. Alright, so I think that's look good. Alright, so the next thing that I now want to do is to come and refine the edges around the hair here, and to be able to do that, all you need to do is to head on to the laser tool, and then after clicking the laser tool you're going to see the select and mask. Just click on that. So a certain paint should appear here, the properties paint, and what I now need to do here is first ensure that the view is on black. It will be like that by default, or you can switch to any of these other options, and then you can also come and play aloud with the opacity here. So this is another way of like detecting the subject. Alright, but that's a tip for another tutorial. Alright, so what I need to do currently is to just come and refine the edges around the hair, and I can just come and try to zoom it in a little bit, and then on this other pane here you're going to find that we have several tools, and the one that we want is the refine edge brush tool. You can hit R on the keyboard to pick that, and then I just need to come and brush out these areas just like that, and you'll find it trying to detect the edges, so the space between the hair, my hair, and the background. So just try to move around, here. You can also be able to come on top here and try to adjust the size of the brush and also the hardness. So just come and try to play around with it there. Alright, just try to find the edges here. And this is also another complex area. Alright, so I think things looks good apart from this area here. Alright, I'll try to get rid of it using the brush. So after that, come and ensure that the output is on a layer mask, and then you just come and say okay, and that's what we're going to have there. Alright, so maybe we can also come and try to pick the brush and make sure that the foreground is white, and try to retain this part of the face. Try to retain this part of the face. And also this part of the hair here. Can also try to get rid of these excess parts. You can also try to come and reduce the hardness. So I can be able to get these edges properly. So this is an area that will require some of your time, but for the purposes of this video, hope you get the idea. So this is the easiest way that you can be able to get rid of the background of anything in Photoshop. I think that looks cool now. So if I just come and zoom it out a little bit, and that's what you are going to have. So depending on the type of the image that you're working with, the remove background tool may work fine for you, but in other cases you'll be required to fine-tune, root through a bit so that you have that cool final product. And those are the 3 cool tips that I intended to share with you in this video. Hope they will make you more productive in Photoshop, and if this is something that you like, kindly give it a thumbs up, and I will appreciate a lot. For any suggestions, comments, have them in the comments below. I'll be more than ready to reply. Thanks for watching, and as usual, see you in the next one. Stay safe. Oh, and don't forget to wash your hands.